Mike says, Sabu, I remember watching a dark match you had in 1993 in Poughkeepsie, New York during a Monday Night Raw taping at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. Do you have any memories of the match?
Manhattan says.
Manhattan. Oh no, this is the next question. The Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsee. There was a Raw taping and you did a dark match.
Taylor.
What?
Scott Taylor, remember?
Was it Scott Taylor or Owen Hart?
I believe it was Scott Taylor. It was when they wanted you to be the Sultan.
Yeah, but at the same time, I did two Scott Taylors and one Owen Hart.
I don't know which one that was. It was the same weekend.
Okay, do I
just do you remember the match?
Yeah, I remember. It was fun, sort of. They didn't want me to do my shit, but I did it anyways. I tried.
Another video from Jimmy.
And I had a great match with Owen Hart. You know, God rest his soul.
Sabu, Jimmy James here once more.
I know.
Now in 1997, Paul Heyman and Vince McMahon kind of brokered a deal to promote the barely legal pay-per-view where the ECW guys came in and kind of invaded Raw. You were part of the show, and I just want to know, like, what were your memories of, like, backstage? Were the WWE guys kind of paranoid that maybe you guys were there to steal some of their spots and stuff, or were they happy to see you guys and just kind of sit back and check out the matches? And also, you had a spot where you dove off of the old Raw set onto Team Taz. Now, that was a pretty crazy spot, especially for the WWE in those days. Was that ad-libbed at all, or did you have to run that by Vince? I'm assuming you did, but, you know, it's just kind of throwing it out there. And also, after that night, I mean, you had a pretty impressive move there. Did anyone from WWE try to get you to jump ship?
Yes. But the jumping off the Raw sign wasn't ad-lib. I planned it, but it was ad-lib to them. They didn't know it. And I didn't hit nobody. I hit the floor. I went to jump, the arc moved, but it splattered on the floor. And everybody fell over. I didn't even touch them.
But how were you guys treated in the locker room upon entering?
They didn't like us. Because we came in like a team. We all had our stupid sweatshirts on, which said ECW, and we're like a family. And they weren't. They were all against each other, let alone against us, you know.
Remember Sandman bothering Gorilla Monsoon?
Yeah, Sandman was talking real estate with Gorilla Monsoon, funny as shit. And hey, I got my real estate, this and that. And Gorilla Monsoon, it was so funny as shit. And Taz sucking up the Shamrock, you know, because the Shamrock's a wrestler or whatever, like Taz thinks he was.
You know. Yeah, New Jack talked about that a little bit too. His pal Taz. Steve Jordan. All right, Sabu, here's a trivia question for you. What was the very first match of the Monday Night Wars when Nitro and Raw went head-to-head for the first time on September 11th, 1995?
What's that again?
Do you remember the very first match of the Monday Night Wars, the first time Nitro and Raw went?
They actually called me, Nitro did, or WCW, to do it, but I was booked, so I did the second one.
Sabu versus Alex Wright.
Yes,
in fact,
right. But they wanted me to wrestle either Brian Pillman on the first one or Liger, but I couldn't make it because I was in Japan.
Okay. For the record,
so I did the second one.
WWE countered with Razor Ramon versus Davey Boy Smith. That was their answer to your match. Jonas Jensen, hey, I have just one question. How is it working in WCW?
How was it? It sucked because I didn't. I mostly called my shit in the ring, and that was the first time I was exposed to quote unquote television wrestling, where you have to choreograph everything. You know, and I was used to that, so it kind of sucked. But now that's the way it is, you know. Different animal now.
Bill Dozer asks,
Sabu, the year was 1995. You finally made it on to national television with WCW, brother. Anyway, you started out, you fought Alex Wright. I think you won the match, then you got disqualified for tossing him through the table. That was great shit. Anyway, why didn't you last so long in WCW? Did you butt heads with management? Did you want to be Seth fucking Boo? And they were like, oh no, well, the Hulkster, he drops the leg, so you can't drop a leg through a table. Anyway, was it just because you couldn't dance like That's Thunder?
No, it was because they wanted me to be a junior heavyweight. And I didn't want to be a junior heavyweight.
And Paulie back to come back.
No. when you're a junior heavyweight, it's a kiss of death. You never make main event.
Gotcha.
You know, you're always mid card if you're junior heavyweight.
KJL, courtesy of WrestlingTactics.com. Do you regret not trying to negotiate more with WCW during your first run there? For those who don't know the story, Sabu was asked what he wanted when they brought him in for a tryout, to which he quoted a low number, and they just paid him that amount for every appearance he made. Is that true?
That's true, but this is another story. They made me a hell of an offer, $2.5 million for 3 years. But I went to Atlanta, met with Kevin Sullivan and J.J. Dillon, and I was reading the contract, and I was so excited. I go, I gotta go back to my hotel to read this. But really, I wanted to call my mom. I called my mom before I could tell her. She had a heart attack on the phone because my dogs were going crazy. So she had a heart attack trying to control the dogs. So I hung up the phone, went home. By the time I got home, Paulie got wind of it and was already suing him for contract tampering. So I lost $2.5 million because of that. But because after I got home, I went to the hospital, and Mom was in intensive care, and I signed the contract, and I was ready to fax it, and they go, too late, we're already being sued. If I would have signed it right then and there, I would have been a millionaire.
Wow.
The only thing is, I was so excited, I wanted to tell my mother, you know.
Yeah, well, sure.
But she ended up having a heart attack, so I called my brother to call an ambulance, and the ambulance got there, and he got there, and she had 2 heart attacks actually at the time, and so I don't regret it. It's just, you know,
The way it happened was
yeah.
just so fucked up. Haphazard, courtesy of WrestlingClassics.com. Do you wish you would have toned down your style, been more open to speaking English and promos, etc., in order to get a spot with WWF or WCW during the Monday Night Wars?
No. I didn't want to compromise my character, you know, and although my character is not, I don't talk that much anyways, unless I know you, you know, one-on-one. I don't talk to crowds. I'm bashful, scared to death, whatever you want to call it, you know. I'm more comfortable now because it's on a camera. I don't realize who's looking at me.
You got some people that are almost sleeping looking at you.